and I'm affirmative on privacy. Some vocabulary, some words are substantial, is to a great or a significant extent, and curtail, to reduce in extent or quantity. The harms or the United States federal government should curtail its domestic surveillance because it violates Americans' Fourth Amendment and our privacy rights as American citizens. The Fourth Amendment protects individuals' rights for situations in which the person has a legitimate expectation of privacy. Not only is it an invasion of privacy, but it also is breaking the law towards all the innocent people in the United States to be monitored through a database that with one wrong written word or said that automatically gets them watched. This goes against and violates the Fourth Amendment's right to privacy and our procedures that fought for our establishing rights and the Bill of Rights. The government should curtail its domestic surveillance through a steady, reasonable process. The federal government has broken privacy rules and overstepped their boundaries time and time again, and it is time as citizens that we stand up for ourselves. As sources, as stated in the article, The Daily Dot by Joe Clark, published on October 30th, 2013, John Hopkins, a news reporter for the News Daily, wrote, "The controversial mass surveillance operations conducted by the U.S. National Security Agency together cost each taxpayer $574 a year." $574 is each person in the United States. So we are basically paying to survey ourselves. With every individual paying that amount a year, that's billions of dollars that can be put towards benefiting the U.S. in many other ways. A plan of action is the action that needs to be taken. Since the federal government is in charge of everyone, such as police stations, so forth, to anything possible, only federal government NSA programs will be able to surveil a person with reasonable suspicion or probable cause of doing wrong. This will curtail domestic surveillance in a vast majority for our citizens to keep their privacy rights and not be infringed and stripped of our privacy rights. The mandate is a new agency within the federal government's NSA program will be made and forced to be seeking out the appropriate balance and costs and benefits of domestic surveillance that will help carry out the term and make it sure it is followed in order to not put the U.S. in any more debt and help curtail surveillance. The enforcement would be the head of the federal government. They'll be the enforcer to make sure that they're the only ones with such power of domestic surveillance, and only when probable cause or real suspicion is the case. Any other forms of mass surveillance on anyone without probable cause or real suspicion will not be allowed. If so, there will be fines and jail time against the perpetrator. Also, the federal government will prohibit the creation of other domestic surveillance programs not under their control. The impact are that you are paying $574 of our hard-earned tax money is going towards the NSA to spy on ourselves. It costs the NSA 6.5 cents an hour to spy on a person, stated Drew F. Cohen in his article in Political Magazine published on February 10, 2014. That might not seem like a lot, but when there's billions of people all over the United States, that's a pretty huge piece of money. The federal government needs to review their tactics on mass surveillance. Therefore, the federal government needs to stop violating the people's rights and curtailing their invasion of privacy.
First question, how it violates the Fourth Amendment?
Excuse me?
You said it violates the Fourth Amendment, right?
Yes.
How does it?
How does it violate the Fourth Amendment? The Fourth Amendment, I have it stated right here.
My name is Crystal Martinez. I am negative for privacy.
The Fourth Amendment protects individuals' rights from situations such in which the person has a legitimate expectation of privacy. So that means they cannot break your expectation of privacy, because the Fourth Amendment is for unreasonable searches and seizures without a warrant, and they don't have a warrant in order to tap your phone. And that's your invasion of privacy, because you feel that you are in a certain situation and you have that expectation of privacy when you're on the phone at your house or wherever you're at in your domain.
We're affected by that.
And you said, okay, how the money that goes to mass surveillance could benefit us?
How could it benefit us? It could start different programs to help people in need or other things other than spying basically on yourself when you're not doing nothing wrong, or they put you in a database with all these other criminals that you could just get, that they could take you out of just because of one word you texted or something that you're talking about over the phone doesn't mean that you're a criminal. So all this money could go towards benefiting other new ways to help the U.S.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Abdul, and today I'm going to represent the negative side of privacy. First of all, privacy is never mentioned in the text of the Constitution. Neither is the phrase of right of privacy. The Constitution does not guarantee or assure that privacy is a constitutional right. According to Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito, after careful consideration, is this justice finding that there is no specific mention of the right to privacy in any of the 27 amendments. Alito's statement proves that harms do not really exist by clarifying that the 27 amendments do not have any specific mention of the right of privacy. Affirmative numbers are not radical or effective as they are claimed. The Master of Finance helps to prevent the citizen from the terrorist attacks by monitoring extremist groups through the internet. A survey from Fox News poll shows that 65% say they believe that the NSA program has helped prevent terrorist attacks in the United States, compared to 28% who do not believe it has. The small percentage of people who do not believe that NSA program has helped prevent terrorist attacks in the United States is noteworthy. So why the affirmative makes such a plans to stop the NSA program protecting the public from threats because of a minor group of people who are excessively curious about their privacy due to normal files like schoolworks, wedding pictures, or video games. NSA can see these files, of course, but it will not steal them or arrest their owners because they do not make any threat to the national security at all. Technology and Society Press Republican Stuart Denver says the government claims that it's not in infringement of your Fourth Amendment protection against unreasonable search because it does not use actual data. Instead, chapters just the metadata. The affirmative claims that privacy is important to democracy. Privacy is not important when it comes to the national security because security is the top priority for any nation before anything. The meaning of privacy has totally been changed for the last 2 decades. The fast development of technology makes us have less privacy than we used to have two decades ago. In addition, 9/11 is another reason why we have less privacy because it has led the government monitoring any criminal activities. The upshot writer Claire Miller says that Americans say they are deeply concerned about privacy on the web and their cell phones. They say they do not trust internet companies or the government to protect it. Yet they keep using the services and handing over their personal information. Because Americans share their personal information with each other, it means they do not feel concerned about losing democracy. Since Americans do not feel concerned about their privacy, why they keep giving their personal information to services if it affects the democracy by diminishing their own privacy? As long as there is no loss for democracy, the affirmative loses this harm. Therefore, the affirmative is losing the debate.
Right, so you stated that the right of privacy doesn't show up in any of the Bill of Rights or any of the 27th Amendments?
Yeah,
At all?
the word privacy, okay, or any phrase of it, were not mentioned.
So doesn't privacy fall under unreasonable searches and seizures? Because that's basically your privacy? Because that's stated in the Fourth Amendment.
It's never stated. The word privacy is never stated.
But the word privacy could be used abroad for...
We use the word, we do not use the verb.
Alright, and then you said that we have no right to privacy in none of the 27 amendments.
I didn't say that. I didn't say we don't have right.
They said that privacy was... You said there's no right to privacy in any of the 27 amendments.
I said it's not. There's no specific mention of the right to privacy in any of the 27 amendments.
So there's no specificity in any of it.
Yeah, I didn't say there's no right.
Okay, and then you said that stopping the NSA program is basically absurd.
So surveillance will
What do you
always
mean?
be
That
whether or not you are
me on the
monitored or
affirmative
tested.
that I'm towards
So,
stopping the NSA program.
Even though
Is
there
that what
is
you
mass
put?
surveillance, it will always
I did.
continue.
If
Right.
you are affirmative, you are
You
against.
said that I'm trying to stop the NSA program
Yeah.
because I know in the actual question is to curtail substantially, not to stop. And in my case, I didn't put anything about stopping it. I put about reducing it
I
substantially.
didn't read rules.
We'll be able to concentrate on those who
I'm talking about the
are
general.
only
As a affirmative, I feel that I won this case because it said that there's no right to privacy in any of the Bill of Rights or any of the 27 amendments, which I believe is false because there's a right to privacy in the First Amendment, the Third Amendment, and the Fourth, especially expectation of privacy in your home or to any unreasonable searches and seizures. Also, he stated that I wanted to stop the NSA program, and the question at hand is not to stop the NSA program, to stop any domestic surveillance, is to substantially reduce it, which is what I stated. And if criminal activity is such a big issue, 9/11 could have been stopped with such mass surveillance, and also what just happened in Paris. So I feel that the negative is losing this case because it is not specifically on what is according to what happened in the U.S. and also because no one is trying to stop any of the NSA programs. We're just trying to substantially curtail and stand up for our privacy rights as citizens.
I think I'm the winning because the affirmative never mentioned, because the Constitution never mentioned the word privacy or any phrase to it, and the affirmative indicates just the verb. And I never said it's not the right of the 27 amendments. I only said it's not mentioned in the 27 amendments. I think I'm winning because we didn't approve the harms, and the Constitution does not guarantee or assure the privacy is a constitutional right.
I feel as an affirmative I won this case because the negative could not state its true facts and true harms on any of my plans or enforcement or impact that I stated. He did not have any type of information that would be helpful because he stated that stopping the NSA would be absurd when all we're trying to do is substantially curtail it. And I feel that the affirmative won this case, and that's that.